Bit of a different one today. I'm going to be rating 10 of the episodes that I did and put them into a tier list. I made these little cool icons and I'll just be dropping them in and trying to give some justification as to why. Caveat, this is just my opinion. This is going off the dishes that I made using my skills, limited as they may be, and the tools that I had at hand and ingredients. So these may well taste much better if made by a pro, and maybe I would rank them way higher if they were made by a pro. If they weren't, they're made by me, so apologies. But yeah, so I mean, let's get going. So the first one is Pele. This dish I was actually really excited about. I mean, look at this, look at the colours in there. Cashews, peanuts, love all that stuff. Now, the one thing I did cook with is dried shrimp. I added a whole cup or maybe more, which is what a lot of recipes did. But a lot of recipes also seem to entirely omit dried shrimp. And now I think I know why. It just completely overpowers this dish. All I could taste in the end product sound like the McDonald's CEO. All I could taste in the final dish was dried shrimp, which is fine, but it's not what I was expecting. It's a bit weird with the chicken. Yeah, it just wasn't what I expected, and it was a shame because again, looking at the ingredient list and the recipe, I was like, wow, this is definitely sort of up my street. Turns out it wasn't, and I think we'll put this. Sorry, into D. I didn't like it. Maybe if it was made by a pro, it would have tasted completely different. But what I created tasted meh, so it's going into meh.
Come again?
Meh.
Come again?
Meh. Yeah, okay. Moving on. We've got Ozzy Osbourne's burrito. We did this episode because Ozzy Osbourne had just passed away a few months prior. Turns out he loved Chipotle burritos, and someone managed to find his burrito order from like a paparazzi sort of snap where the receipt was hanging out. I mean, look at that. I mean, just that looks incredible, right? And I mean, there's not much to go off. If you had a burrito, you can get Chipotle in most European countries, maybe. Definitely in the UK you can. I've been to the US, I've had it there, not much different, to be honest. And yeah, I've made this sort of burrito in the past. I really like burritos, very rich, but balanced out by all the accompaniments like that. Salsa verde. And yeah, I mean, overall, just really good. Really, really good. Is it as good as S? Not for now. And I'd say this list is going to be a living thing. I'm not going to just set them in stone. I hate committing to things.
Obviously, I have some commitment issues.
So if I change my mind, I'll be coming back here and updating this for sure. Maybe even throughout the course of this, or certainly throughout the course of this. I'm going to put this into A for now. Barbacoa burrito. Pull apart pork. It's just insane. Who doesn't like? So yeah, I think A for now. We'll see if it shifts. Next up, we've got Al Capone. Now, this is my most watched video.
I'm kind of a big deal.
I'm not sure if it's the subject or if it's because the recipe is interesting, but this video randomly took off after a while. It's, yeah, a great dish. Not something I've tried before. It's Italian cooking, really. It's quite simple, few ingredients, high quality ingredients. That's what most good pastas are, really. 2, 3, 4 ingredients, a bit of topping, don't need much more. Same here. Good quality extra virgin olive oil, garlic, walnuts. And yeah, I mean, if you haven't tried it, definitely try it. It's a nice dish. It's got nice texture from the walnuts, a bit of crunch, and obviously the flavour, if you like that flavour. It's quite rich. I don't know if it's as good as excellent. I will go good for now, I think. Yeah. I knew I was going to struggle. I struggled making decisions like this. And this one in particular will go good for now. But I'm trying to remember how much I liked it. But I think it's just hard to get that excited about. But there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. I haven't made it since, let's put it that way. I mean, I've not made many of these. Anyway, it's going to go there for now. Next up was the Thanksgiving dinner. And I mean, this was purely because of the time of the year. I tried to find someone who was really into Thanksgiving dinners, and then we found Sarah Joseph Hale, who was the queen of Thanksgiving. Apparently, she was the sort of person responsible for bringing it to the mainstream in the form it is today. And I think hers was a lot more rustic. I liked about this particular Thanksgiving dinner was that it included things, quite fresh things.
Oh shit, that is fresh.
Like you see, it's got pickled cucumbers, pickled onions, pickled beetroot. They're quite fresh. It almost reminds me of like a Polish plate soup. Something my mum would cook typically. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's hard not to like. But again, I find these sorts of dishes. Each country has a roast dinner. A lot of countries, they've invented it. It's not that groundbreaking in my opinion ever. And I think it's quite boring to say that this is your favorite food.
You're basic.
But I can see why it is, But for me, it's that I think is decent. And I mean, so far I've covered every option I have. I mean, it could be good for sure. But I like some more seasoning, I think, on my meats than just a plain old turkey.
Ouch.
A roast dinner for me would land also in a decent category. I rarely get that excited about it. Usually around Christmas, there's an overload.
You are my Everest.
And then I sort of avoid it and tend to go for other things on menus. And I know some people live and die by roast dinners. Anyway, that's that. Now, yeah, I mean, just look at it. Come on. Mac and cheese, baked chicken, and these spinach, minty peas. Now, to me, this is sort of reminiscent of a Nando's, which is quite a nice, healthy meal out if you're trying to not go too crazy. And this plate reminds me of that. Apart from the dirty counter,
Yikes.
it's a good looking plate of food, and I really enjoyed it, and I've made it since. But yeah, I mean, this is incredible. But is it legendary? I don't know. Not for now. We'll save that spot and see if something deserves to be pushed up. I think I'd probably put the baked chicken mac and cheese over the barbacoa to legendary tier, I think. But for now, I think it's an excellent dish. Oof, this one's going to be hard for me. So this is some Polish home cooking. This is a very traditional dish, very rustic, very rich. I've never made it before. It's a lot of effort to make, a lot of hammering out meat. Yeah, this took a long time. I mean, I got these cut by the book. Actually, I cut it myself. I think the problem was my meat tenderizer, and I've got a new one since, was quite small. And I didn't have a flat side, so they were just getting obliterated. But I mean, they ended up tasting really good, even if it was a lot of effort to make. I made like 12 of these because I think I had some friends coming over, and that was going to be the main dish, or it was the main dish. They all really liked it. But yeah, it's a lot of effort to make. The potato dumplings, also a lot of effort to make because you have to individually sort of roll each one out. You can imagine each one of these done by hand. So between these roulades being individually wrapped and having to roll out the potato dumplings, this dish requires a lot of effort. But I'm not really taking effort into account in my ratings, I don't think. No effort, no reward. This cabbage, look at what's going in. Smoked bacon. The amount of flavour in this pot is just incredible. All that rendered off fat is going straight into this cabbage. And a simple gravy. And together, yeah, the gravy was made from the meat juices. And I think because of the nostalgia element for me, like I said, I'm Polish, unfair as people may think, we'll put it in there because I really like it. I really do. Yeah, I think it's fair. It could be in the good tier, but no. On to the next one. Yeah, I think most people have had something like this. A bit like a schnitzel, really. It's very similar to a schnitzel. A bit thicker and a bit more going on in the crumb. The breadcrumbs are essentially just seasoned with parmesan and parsley. And that's the main distinction between this, to me, and the schnitzel, and the fact that schnitzels tend to be very thin, very, very thin. I mean, this is actually a nice dish. I've only had, as a side, I only had this little salad, just because from the research, that's mainly what Sinatra liked, rocket salads. This sort of dish is still on the menu, at Patsy's on their website. I tried to follow the recipe that they provide on their website, and I think I did follow it pretty much to a T. I mean, come on, I knew this was going to happen. I tend to, when I'm doing research, go for dishes that I know I want to eat. So that's why a lot of these are going to end up in the higher tiers. And I mean, dreaded veal, it's not much work and it tastes incredible. So yeah, all the way up in there. And the A tiers is getting pretty busy. And I'm afraid it's probably only going to get worse. Actually, no, it's not only going to get worse because we're on to this. I actually thought this looked quite interesting. This episode was around Christmas. We needed a Christmassy figure, so Mr. Charles Dickens. And yeah, and what also pushed Charles Dickens over anyone else, and obviously other contenders for a Christmas episode, the dish was very intriguing. Oysters with lamb, something I've ever heard of until I started doing this research. Learn a lot as well during this. I mean, I didn't realize that oysters were a working man's food. Oysters were eaten by the lower classes, not like today where they're considered a luxury and sort of people pretend to like them. And I think I mentioned that. I'm not an oyster fan. I think if you do like oysters, you're just pretending. And I've had them fresh. I've had them straight from the sea. I've had them with vinegar, with lemon juice, with spicy sauce, and it always tastes like salty bogies. But also, another thing I learned is how to shuck. I actually ordered a shucking knife for this episode, which came about an hour after we finished shooting. I tried to wait for it, but we were going to run out of time. So I just used a paring knife for the initial sort of stab, just to get under the skin and wiggle it out about a bit, and then put in like just a butter knife when there's a bit more space, because it's obviously a lot more sturdy, and this takes quite a lot of force, and you don't want your paring knife to snap. But this was easier than I thought. You just need to, this technique with the towel works really well, because the hand with the knife is applying a lot of pressure into that point, where if this slips at any point, you're in danger of losing the finger. So if you do attempt this, do be careful, take your time. I think I messed up here a bit. I look at the size of these. This bread was quite stale as well. I should have really blitzed this a bit. There was a lot of things that went wrong here. This meat that I got, 2 pieces, so it was difficult to roll. But anyway, the end product was pretty uninspiring. You can taste the saltiness slightly, whether it works or not. I don't think so. I think though, like I said, I might have messed up the stuffing here. You can see here, the bread is just like big chunks. I made stuffing loads, and I don't know why I made this sort of mistake. Especially for a video, but I did. I'm sure a professional chef could refine this and it would be amazing. Kind of makes sense, The oysters are really salty and fishy, a bit like an anchovy, and you see that in a lot of things to season the meat and stuff. So I can see that working, and I thought that's what it was going to do, but it didn't for me. So it's going into D. I'm sure not many people are going to be upset about this. Okay, we've got 2 more to go. Full English breakfast or fried breakfast. Reportedly, Churchill didn't like black pudding. But yeah, I mean, let's jump straight to the end. I think it's pretty obvious. The one thing that was different from a standard full English breakfast is Churchill used to have cold cuts with his fried breakfast. So he would switch between like ham and leftover meat from the night before to your standard full English. He also had jam and a tea and an orange juice, and he only liked his orange juice from concentrate. We're going to go excellent. I do like a fried breakfast, not too often. I can get sick of them. I know some people don't. When I go on holiday with my friends, they always want a fried breakfast. Oh, friend! Typical. And it can it's quite greasy, isn't it? It's a plate of grease. Apart from the tomato, you can suddenly really skip. It's all same in one night. So this excellent is, it's punching above its weight a bit here in this ticket. Amongst these other dishes, I feel like they're a bit more refined, maybe. Okay, I know where this is going. This could be my death row meal.
Okay.
Look at this. I want to make these typically for my friends. I don't put this much cheese in. Obviously, when I'm recording the video, I really want to make it look. I think I did a really good job on the chicken. I've made fried chicken a few times, and this technique worked really well. Shout out to Kenji Lopez. I think I followed his recipe. Look at shot of the plate. Yeah. I mean, it's fried chicken. You don't like it, but why? After just, complaining about how greasy fried breakfast is, I'm going to put this all the way up into there because I'm not sure I need to explain much more here. One thing I will say, and I've not had this before, is these collard greens are incredible. They're like cabbagey. They offset that greasiness quite nicely and in a different sort of way. People typically go for like coleslaws, which are quite fresh in a way and sharp. Whereas this is more mellow and a bit like a stew almost, quite smoky. So it offsets it but in a different way. And I think it works quite well. But yeah, I mean, for now, I'm not too dissatisfied where we are. Got some in D. A is a bit stacked. But like I said, I do tend to cook things that I want to eat. So yeah, that's that. Let me know what you think. This was just straight off the top of the dome. Some of my thoughts. I'll see. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be doing these when I have the next 10 episodes. I've also started a new playlist with natural dishes. I rate those straight away after the video is done. I don't wait around. But for here, every 10 episode, I will try to rank these. Let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.